Thank
so
you.
now you don't have to hurt your
Hold
wrist
it,
to hold
yeah.
it. Yeah. I had some parents like hold it like this. I just can imagine the strain on
30
it.
minutes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So using your hands. So if you just relax your hand, like just shake, 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 and just hold it out like this. Let it relax. So look at the spacings in the camera of your hand. We'll use it as a mirror for now.
Yes.
Don't get funny with it. Just let it be where it wants to be. Okay? Now, I'm going to give the bow to this hand. I don't want you to move anything. Okay? I'm just going to feed it right in. Good. We're just going to keep that same spacing between all your fingers. This is how I want you to play. Okay? With this spacing. That looks nice. Good. Relax. I don't know which bow you're going to end up using or instrument you arrived at just now. I know we just discussed that, but I don't know what you arrived at. But I'm going to put something on his bow and just make sure you don't give it back
Yeah.
to the, don't give it to the store.
Sure,
Keep
yeah.
it on whatever bow he's going to use.
Okay, so it's the rest of the finger on it?
Yeah, it's a pinky holder.
Pinky holder, yeah.
Okay, so your pinky has to go in the pocket. Have you seen these before?
Yeah.
Did you have one of these?
No.
Oh.
I've seen other kids use it.
I have two rotating around my studio right now with some of the young kids. All right, pinky goes in the hole. That looks really nice. Does that feel okay?
Yeah.
Or is it a little weird?
It's just a bit weird.
Now, what I like about this hold right now that you have, so if you hold it like you normally play, good. And then move the camera slightly so you get a better view. Okay, so go back to where you were. Your pinky is bent and on top, which is great. Before you were kind of stiff. So what happens if you have a stiff hand, then you press on the string like this and it goes. Okay, you want to have a nice loose hand. Looks pretty good. Now, we're going to do something I call pinky push-ups, okay? Make our pinkies strong. So we're going to hold our bows out, and we're just going to lift the tip with just our pinky like this. Yep.
Yeah, I think I've done this once. With
Yeah?
Andrea.
Good. So, and you can, if you don't believe that you're, because you can cheat too, watch. My pinky didn't do any work. So if you don't believe that you're being honest, you can try, you can grab your wrist just to make sure your wrist doesn't move. So if you go over here and hold your wrist steady, you can make sure your pinky is the only thing moving. So let's do now 3 in a row like this. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Almost.
Your finger, third finger is not.
All your fingers are kind of crawling around a little bit. Let's go back to normal. Your hand's just a little weak. You'll get stronger. So let's try again. 3 pinky push-ups.
1, 2, 3.
Good. What's this finger doing?
Which one?
Second finger. It's okay.
Careful.
I usually dodge those really well. Points to him, he got me. I don't usually get hit.
Okay.
Yeah, so actually you should make more of a loop here. Oh, jeez, you're so tense. No squeezing.
Yeah, for almost all the time I was playing, my thumb was inside here.
Yeah, it looks like a thumb hole, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I used to do it when I was a kid too. That's not what it's for. Okay, yeah, thumb pointed up into the thumb grip here. It's getting there, a little tight. So let's go to a pencil for a second. Have you done this with Andrea as well?
Yeah.
Hold a pen, pencil.
Yeah.
Do you have a special one for this?
Well, not.
Oh, I have.
Oh, you've got one, okay.
It's pretty good, although you're really tense. And I want you to keep your wrist straight while you're holding it, okay? And so you're not doing this or like that. Now, you have a bad habit of doing this stuff. You've been doing it for how long have you been playing?
2.5 years.
So you have a long time. You and this technique have been friends. If you've been like this kind of stuff. So it's going to feel really bad to change it. But just be patient, okay? And you have to trust me that it's going to be way better once you fix it. And I promise you, if you fix it for a couple weeks, no squeezing, don't squeeze. If you fix it for a couple weeks, and then I showed you how you used to do it, and you try it again, you'd be like, I used to do what? How did I play like that? That's crazy. That's so hard. Yeah, of course this is easier. So once you finish it, you'll be like, oh, this is way better. But until then, it's gonna feel weird. Now, you're kind of squeezing the pen a lot. How hard do you need to hold it?
I do it usually like a bit hard, not too hard.
Pretty hard. Can we shake hands for a second? How hard do you hold the bow? Only that hard? It looks like this.
It's
Kind of a lot, right?
Yeah.
Have you shaken hands with guys like that before? They always like want to like crush your hand. They're like, "Urgh," they want to get you. So it's an unpleasant surprise when people do that. So when you're holding it, so let's try again. Just relax your hand. Don't. Seems really tense. So let's shake hands again. Nicely. So you don't want to be loosey goosey, right? If it does this, you're just gonna drop it, right?
Firm but
So
not
you have
hard.
to have.
Firm but not hard.
Yeah. So if we're gonna shake hands firmly, like you mean it. So that's good right here. Does that feel good? Like I have your hand, you have my hand.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you back your bow, and I want you to have that same relaxed but firm handshake. So you're there, but you're not squeezing it. And I'm going to be playing with your fingers to make sure you're not squeezing. Pretty good. Why is it doing that? It's like, can you make your pinky come this way?
Let me try.
No, not with the wrist. Do you know what your pinky's doing? It's doing this. So I want it, instead of it being like on its side, like my foot right now, I want you to stand it up properly.
Just keep it straight.
That looks pretty good. So let's go show that to the camera and to Mom. It's still a little rotated out.
Yeah, it has to be.
It
I
goes that
understand.
way?
Yes, it has to be.
It'd be nice if it was in the same orientation,
Same angle. Yeah.
or at least somewhat.
Yeah.
It can be out, but it shouldn't roll out that way.
Outside,
That's
okay.
collapsed out. So
Right.
that would be bad. This is
Like
okay.
this.
This is great. This is fine.
Okay.
Anywhere in there.
Okay.
And I'll show you on my bow. Oops, sorry, I almost didn't do that. This is how it looks for me. Okay, this is my bow hold. And his right now looks like that.
Okay.
It's that joint. It's a weakness problem. It's just because your hand's not very strong. Because when do you use these muscles?
Maybe one writing or something.
Not even, right? Because then you just put it in your hand and you do this. The answer is probably nowhere. You never strengthen these muscles, right? When you open a car door, you're not like, you don't grab the handle and like pull it or anything. So we don't really use these things. So you have to kind of practice, because right when you write like this, right? So where's the motion coming from?
Your hand.
No.
Oh, your arm.
Arm and wrist, right?
Yeah.
So your fingers aren't doing it. Can you imagine? Like, actually, this is a really good idea. Let's make you do that. That sounds like fun. Let's show you what that would feel like. We need some scratch paper. If I have it. That'd be brilliant if you do. I always mean to have scratch paper and never do. I have Post-its. We can use this.
Actually, I don't.
So, here's a Post-it. I want you to get close to it. I don't know what this is. Hang on. So get close to it. Now, you can't move anything except for your fingers.
So what? Do I
Write your name. Yeah. Big. Write it really big.
Okay.
Yeah, no wrist. Good. Now hold it like a bow. Maybe we'll turn it around. Write your name again. Turn it around this way. Write like that. I know it's really weird. Let's just try. So keep your wrist really steady. I'm not going to let you use your wrist. Good. Oh, your pinky fell off. Oh. Great. So, as a game at home,
my S.
what we'll do, can you see how it works? Write my name here.
Use only the fingers to write it.
Yeah, we can draw pictures this way as well. And you can move your hand like this if you need to, but then like a typewriter, or like, and then don't move anything, and then just the fingers
Yeah.
that way. Okay. Let's go back to the pen. So you can just get on some scratch paper a little bit, just to strengthen his pinky. Make sure you don't fall off. Like when you're I can see you're squeezing. I can see it because it looks like this. It's like, such an angry thumb. So just relax. It's pretty good. Pinky on top. Okay, now let's try a little bit of seesaw, like this.
Use your pinky to lever.
Yeah, so just like this. Up and down, up and down. So your pinky's collapsed out again. So just a couple minutes of like kind of fun little playing with the bow, writing, pens and pencils. And I want you, while you're doing this, Ojas is our
Ojas.
Ojas, sorry. Ojas. I want you to, while you're doing this, to focus on having a straight wrist. You love to play like this a lot.
Yeah.
And it makes a harsh sound sometimes.
Yeah.
So you want to try and have a more straight wrist. Like if you're holding your hand up to pick something up, can you show me how you pick something up? Like pick up this book. So look at the way your wrist was right before you picked it up. Do you see?
Yeah.
Okay, the way you were bowing was more like this. It's kind of strange, right? You wouldn't do that. So if I asked you to, yeah, you wouldn't come at it like, you know, like that with your wrist. So it's not natural. So on the bow, again, doing this first, it looks really lovely, and some people do play that way and they play really well. But for the rest of us, it's more natural just to have a more neutral wrist. It's flexible, but I'm not bending it. So while you're playing with your bow, this is what I'm talking about. Now do you see it?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you your bow again. Wait, no, sorry, this bow. Sorry, your bow. Here's your bow again. Pretty good. One little adjustment, just that far over. So now you have a really nice straight wrist. Good. So now let's practice another little game. I want you to close one eye and look right at the corner of the room. And we're gonna draw and point your hand like you're bowing, so like this. Just
Other way.
you're turning your hand upside down.
Other way.
Turn your hand the other way around.
Oh.
Like no, not that other way.
This?
Like you're bowing. Pretend it's a bow.
And flip it.
Yep. Okay, good. And now we're gonna point this at the corner. If we look at the wrist, so stare right at that. That'll work fine. Okay, and now draw little circles around it using just the fingers. No wrist. Use your pinky. So like this. Can you see my hand?
Yeah. Wow.
Don't use your wrist.
The pinky has to be very active. Make sure all your fingers stay on the bow. So can you see my fingers?
Yeah. Oh.
I know it looks easy, but it's really hard. Your brain has to make little nerve pathways to your muscles and to understand what to do. So you have to kind of build these little roads from here to here. So when you're frustrated at home practicing this, which I bet you'll get a little frustrated. Do you ever get frustrated when you practice violin?
Yeah, sometimes.
That just means you're doing it right. That you're supposed to. That's how this works. Okay? So when you're getting frustrated a little bit, just know it's because you're trying to build roads and highways here. From the brain all the way down to your arm to your fingers. So your fingers understand. Once they know what to do, you have those roads and it's really easy. It looks like this. It's no big deal to me. But this took a long time to build. So, it's construction inside. And that really is what's going on, by the way. It really is nerves that have to like connect and rewire and stuff. With all the computer stuff in your brain. It has to work out. So, good. We'll sight down the stick. Good. We'll just make little circles using just the fingers. That already is looking better. Don't use any of your wrist. Don't cheat. Good. The pinky's driving and except it can't fall off. Okay. Oh, careful. Don't use your wrist. So this stays. If you have a popsicle stick and some tape,
Just stick it there.
right here on his wrist, like this,
So it stays
keep it straight in the
yeah.
front, not the back.
Okay.
So, for example.
Yeah, I got it. I think I just want it here. Something to stick so that he doesn't.
Yeah, I'll do it for you now, just so you can feel it. So, okay, I'm going to give you a little splint here. Can I borrow your hand again? Okay. So the idea is that this isn't going to move while you're doing it. Okay. So this should stay straight. You should, yeah, good.
Flip it.
Other ways, if you want to do it that way, do it like this.
Yeah, let's.
Okay. Yep, so you see how it's bent? You can kind of feel it in the... There. That seems to work. And you probably have to hold it, otherwise it's a little pliable.
Yeah.
That's wristy again.
Finger.
Remember how mine looked when I did it?
Give him the pen.
I got it. So, I'll show you the camera here. You'll turn it this way. Keep your pinky on top. Let the pinky drive. The pinky's in charge. Is my bent pinky? Straight pinky. Good. And this can be something fun to do in the car too. If you're not doing anything else, you can just
You
play
can
with.
do it all the time.
You can play with the pen and just kind of get used to the little seesaw motions, and you can try and write your name and draw. Try and draw a house just using the fingers, and try and make sure your wrist really isn't moving. Can you see my wrist is really still on purpose?
Yeah.
Me trying to draw a square. There's the triangle on top of the house. Then I'll move and I'll draw some windows. Okay, it's going to be a really ugly drawing, but your hand will learn something about how to stay still. Let's go back to your violin and your bow.
Okay, here.
Oh, thank you. So your bow is here. Here's this bow. This bow.
No.
It has a little.
Oh, yeah. No.
So let's try bowing from the frog to the middle on the A string.
Okay, so.
It's close, but this is needs to be bent. Bent. Good. Wrist straight. Okay, third finger could be somewhat over the eye of the frog-ish. At least vicinity. That's pretty good. Second finger down here. And the thumb shouldn't poke through. This is another big thing, Ojas. You don't want to stick your thumb through like that. It should go up into the bow. Curled thumb.
So, like this?
Yeah, just like that. Looks nice. Try bowing open A string from the frog to the middle. Keep your wrist relaxed. Bend that thumb. Just relax. Pretty good. Don't have to push so hard. Just relax. You have a really nice, big, powerful sound. So your wrist is a little bent. Just relax. That's getting there. Okay? How's that feel in your hands? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Not too weird? Like I said, you're really close. It's not like totally reinventing the wheel. We're just polishing up a couple
tweaking
little
it, yeah.
details.
Sure.
I was going to mention something else to you. Do the paint to the drawings, the finger thing, the wrist. I already forgot, so I'll remember later. Okay, let's try a G major scale.
Okay, I'll try it like.
Oh, sorry, I remembered. Okay, so I'll take your stuff again. With your right hand, can you please go open that door? And when you hold the doorknob, freeze. Okay, so good. And hold your, yeah, that's pretty good. Sorry, one second. Good. So do you feel your thumb bent around that way?
Yeah.
So let go. Keep that same shape. Although you're kind of doing it weird. You can imagine it more this way. I guess I do it that way too, but try it this way. Imagine that. Like put the ball, put it in the, yeah, perfect. This is a really nice bow hold. Why are doorknobs shaped like that?
To help bow hold.
I wish. It kind of does. But actually, do they grow like that on the doorknob tree?
No,
Why do things look the way they do in human life?
I don't know.
We invented them that way. Doesn't it feel nice to hold this doorknob?
Yeah.
Isn't it like the perfect shape?
Yeah.
Why is a Coke can that size? They don't grow that way, right? We made it. It just feels nice. There's a word for this. It's kind of big and it's very fancy. It's called ergonomic. Ergonomic. Say it.
Ergonomic.
It's with an E. Ergonomic. What it means is that something fits the human body really well. Nice and natural. Like a doorknob. Can you imagine a really crazy looking doorknob that was all spiky and it hurt to open? Like, we don't invent those. We don't like those. So when you're holding a doorknob, you can feel that rounded thumb, right? Even the way you went to open it. Rounded thumb, right? You went this way. So on your bow, round that thumb
Wow.
up into the bow. Good. So this space should be open. So this space in here, more open. So I'll show the camera here. That's from that direction, from this direction. It's
like
a very,
this?
somewhat, yeah. You can see my thumb's pretty open here. Going that way.
Okay.
His tends to be a little bit like this.
Mhm.
Very common for kids.
So
and then the pinky's really stiff on top because the thumb's going straight up. So that's
Right.
his hold. Mine looks,
More rounded.
yeah, and you can really see, like, if I let go of the bow, this is basically that doorknob shape.
Got it.
Okay. So this is really boring practice, I'm sorry to say. You have to do lots of open strings very slowly for your bow hold to make sure it's sitting nicely. They do make like giant crazy things I can put on the bow here where it's like a big like block of clay and all your fingers go in the right spots. I don't use those. I think they feel weird.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to learn the hard way or easy way. I'm not sure which one's harder, but just be patient with it. Yeah. All right, so fix your bow hold first. Oh, sorry. And we're gonna bow really slowly with no scratching on the D string. Relax, easy, no scratching. Don't move the violin. Squishy. So you're getting really tense. Do you feel it in your arm?
Yeah.
Do you feel this getting really like squeezy? So when you squeeze this, it squeezes this, which squeezes the bow, which then goes that sound. Just stay really loose. What happens if your arm's held up by the violin? Can you imagine that? Your arm would just go all the way down. But instead, your violin's holding up your arm for you. So there's a lot of tension here. Every like 10, 20 seconds, I want you to freeze and notice your bow hold. What are we noticing? What do you see?
Sound is broken. What is that?
So your thumb's gone straight, right? So you have to get your thumb curled. And you can actually see on my thumb the little flattened bit. Do you see the little flattened part?
Yeah.
That's where the bow's always touching for me. And my nail looks funny because I tear it off. Nervous habit. But my actual thumb, the flesh, how it gets kind of flat there, that's from holding the bow. So you want that same spot of your thumb rounded. Hold on before you get crazy. You didn't check your pinky, right?
Oh yeah.
How about your wrist? So we'll have to make a little list of this for him right now. And he has to go through the list before he can bow. Do you feel open in here or do you feel a little squeezy?
Bit squeezy.
Just relax, like that firm handshake. Not hard handshake, like a firm handshake.
Yeah.
That looks lovely. It's actually a really easy sound. Can you agree? That's like flowing water. It's just beautiful. Good. Relax your neck and arm. So, all this last bow counted as scratchies. Those are all scratchies. We want lo, like a bell. Freeze. Time to check in with your hands. How are we doing? Pinky fell out of the hole.
Was working through
Yeah.
again.
So pinky and thumb. And actually they're going to do the same thing. They're actually mirrors of each other. So when your thumb goes like this, the pinky has to go like this. So they're going to do the same thing all the time. So if you notice one is out, probably the other one is too. Check your wrist. So arm, elbow up. slightly.
Relax.
Yeah. You want to stay like really fat in your arm. So make a strong bicep. Squeeze it. Make it like an Iron Man, like you're trying to flex your bicep. Okay, so this is not how you want to bow. Go to like total gooey jello. Good. That's the kind of arm you want. Just like totally gooey, easy. Yeah, it's getting really loud already. Be careful. Flowing water. That's too light. That's just smoke. We want water. Good. Okay. So we're talking about 3 different kinds of sounds now. We're gonna have smoke. That's this one. can, or like mist, you can put your hand through it. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
How it kind of goes like on a misty day. Show me some mist on the
Really
D-string.
light.
Yeah, but it's like smoky kind of. Can you hear that? Can you imagine that? Show me some mist. Wait, before you do anything, you need to check in with your body. Every time you bring it up. Like literally every time. And you can't only sometimes fix it. Habits are really annoying. You have to do it every single time. You can never do it again the way you did it yesterday. Ever. If you do, you'll never fix it. That's the worst part about bad habits, okay? Your wrist. So, smoky D-string, misty. Relax, right? Good. Okay. That's not mist anymore. That last bit, this isn't mist. You went too far. Beautiful. Good.
It's really light.
It's really light, and you can just touch it because does it hurt your hand at all to go through smoke or mist at all, like steam or fog? If you can imagine playing with fog, like clouds. Okay, the next sound we're gonna go for is like a stream of water. It's gonna sound like a church bell or something when you hear them dong, or like a piano, the after ring, not the hit. Do you know what I mean by the ring?
Yeah, after it, please.
Yeah, especially if you hold that pedal down. That sound. Okay, so this is that flowing water or bell sound. Listen. Is it loud? Okay, show me.
More piano.
Yeah, let's not even worry about dynamics and stuff right now. Let's try and worry about like colors of sound. That's gonna be good for you. Your bow hand looks very weird. So if you need to, you can put your violin down first before you make the next sound. I'll hold your violin for you if you want. And you can fix. I wouldn't fix it like this, like like untwist your body when you're looking at it. Looks weird. So just do it like this. And do you have a mirror somewhere near you that you can look in the mirror and fix your hand in there? Looks pretty good, except for this thing. Good. So here's your violin. So I hear the flowing water sound, bell sound. Wait, your wrist and your fingers went back to. Just bend your thumb. Sorry, I really want to make sound. Okay, relax. Just flowing water, like calm creek. Beautiful. Does your arm feel relaxed with the flowing water? Okay, next sound. We're going to do hard stone. So if you put your foot down on the floor, can you feel that it pushes you back? It's got like a hard sound to it. Can you tell that sounds kind of hard? It's not ugly, but it's a little bit like that feeling. Like you could bounce something off of it. Can I hear that hard sound? Good. Bend that thumb. That's the biggest problem. Side of the thumb into the, yeah, they're good. So that's flowing water. That's water. We want stone. Good. So the bell tone water sound is going to be more like you could like step in that and your foot goes through it, or you can swim in it. This sound isn't swimmable. Okay? Those are the three sounds I want you to use. There's one more sound we're going to make today that's off limits. And it's a sound you used when you first came in. We can call it that. Stare at it for a second. How does that feel in your eyes? Is that nice to look at?
No.
Can you still see it when you look away?
Yeah.
It's stuck in your eyeball, right? It's like lightning. Fluorescent light is what that's called. It's really unpleasant to stare at. Like, don't ever look at the sun because you go blind. But have you ever looked at the sun by accident, or it comes through the trees and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
it hurts to look at that? That first sound you used is that light. It's so bright and so stark. It's that. So make that sound. Show me that sound. The first sound you used. It was very close to the bridge, very hard, and just hard to look at. It's louder than that. So we can call that one lightning or something if you want. What sound do you want? What do you want to call it? Fluorescent light or sun or?
Lightning.
Lightning's good? Okay, so we have our 4 sounds. We have mist, water, stone, and lightning. Okay? So I want you to play me a G major scale with mist, the whole scale. Before you start. It's pretty good. Unbend your wrist. Elbow. So. Mist, mist, mist. No, it's too solid. I need it. Relax your arm. No tension. Not too close to the bridge. Far from the bridge. Far. Hold those to the front. Almost. You're cheating a little bit in that you're using the bridge to do it. This is a different sound. I don't want this one. Hold on. Oh, just. It's not this sound. That's not mist. What I want is mist out here. So far from the bridge. All the way to the tip, all the way to the frog. Keep going. All the way. Relax your shoulder. It's almost like water. It's really close to water sound. It's kind of the opposite of lightning, right? Okay, now let's go to water. I want to hear your song of the night with a water sound.
Music of the night?
Sorry, music of the night. But with water the whole time. Check your hand. Check your wrist. The hand looked good, but the wrist was bent. Water. So. With bells. Beautiful. Not too close to the bridge. Okay, hold on. That sound. Wait, is this still water? Do you think maybe a little bit like stone? Now it's mist. Okay, pretty good. Be careful with that. So what's this? What sound is that one to you?
Stone.
It's pretty hard stone. We're almost lightning territory. Any harder, and we're looking at that again. So some of those sounds are getting a little bit away from you. They're getting into other territories. So I really want you to stay in water. Okay? And then I want you to try it again with stone, and no more lightning anymore. So at home, I want you to practice and bring me back next week, or whenever. When do I see you next?
I don't know.
Whenever I see you next. So I want you to bring back your music of the night with mist, water, and stone sounds. Okay, those 3 different kinds. And the rule is no crescendos. I know you really want to explode with sound. This it's gonna be so nice to be like la da 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 da. Like you really want to sing away. But for this exercise, this is an exercise for your bow.
So it can't go to low to high? From low to high?
Sorry.
It can't go from like quiet to
Right.
loud.
You have to stay in the world. You can be quieter mist to louder mist. Maybe that's allowed. That's still not against the rules. You could start with louder mist. Remember, mist is out here, away from the bridge. But you can't go. Did you hear I left it? Which one is this?
Water.
Yeah. How about this?
Stone.
Okay, so you hear it. So
So it's just about how much pressure you apply on the bow.
no, it's contact
And
point two.
a position on the
Right.
from
So the
distance on
equation is
bridge.
going to be the contact point, the
Distance
pressure,
on the bridge, yeah, and the
and
pressure.
the speed
The
of the
speed.
bow.
Okay.
All
This
three
is
things
yours.
have the have all three things have
Make
the effect on the
yeah,
sound.
Sure. Okay. Just please.
To control that.